On this day, 45 years ago, August 17, 1969, Hurricane Camille made landfall as a Category 5 hurricane, packing winds of 160 with gusts to 200 miles per hour. Storm surge was 24 feet. Legendary broadcaster Bert Case, Jack Hobbs, and photographer Bob Bullock were assigned to go down and cover Camille as it came ashore. Case says his instincts told him something was different about Camille when it started to form.
I had the instinct that it had the possibility of going into the Gulf of Mexico. I followed every single storm that came off of Africa and went through the South Atlantic and the Caribbean.
Camille was first predicted to take an eastern turn toward Florida, but after stalling in the Gulf the day before, it was evident that Camille was heading north right for the northern coastline. Midday August 17th, just before landfall, Case and Bullock arrived to the Mississippi Gulf Coast at the Highway Patrol building.
Well, I got to looking at that little stone building and I thought, we don't need to be here. This is not going to survive the storm. We need to get to a much more substantial building. So I decided to go to the Buena Vista Hotel, which I knew had withstood the hurricane of 1947 on the coast, and I felt that we'd be safe.
While some ignored the hurricane warnings just before Camille, Case says WLOX was on the air up until the last second.
Well, Ray Butterfield certainly didn't underplay it. He understood how serious it was, and it was much worse than the hurricane of 1947, which a lot of people, of course, were familiar with and remembered. And I remember vividly Ray Butterfield being on the air live, interrupting regular programming and saying, now you need to get out. This storm is worse than the hurricane of 1947.
The entire staff rode out Camille that night a few floors up from the ground level. Case takes us back to the incredible power of Camille they experienced late that night at the Buena Vista Hotel.
I was very seriously concerned that we weren't going to make it about midnight at the peak of the storm. I mean, you could just hear things crashing and banging and windows breaking out and debris being smashed into buildings and parts of buildings crashing down. We were very much in doubt that we were going to make it. We were scared to death. The entire first floor of the Buena Vista Motel was just completely gutted. All of the commodes and sinks and bathtubs from the motel rooms were all out in the middle of Highway 90. It was devastation like I had never seen before.
The next morning, everyone would walk out of the building astonished by the aftermath they saw.
A restaurant across the way called Baracel's, a very popular seafood restaurant right next door to the Buena Vista Motel. I wanted to see if Baracel's had survived because I knew it was out over the water up on poles. And I went there and there was nothing left of Baracel's. It was gone. There was no sign it had ever been there.
256 lives would be lost, along with $1.4 billion in damage. Hurricane Camille would go down as the second most powerful hurricane in U.S. history. I'm Vincent Webb reporting.